Welcome! Today we are going to talk with Michal Krcmar, a very special guest, lead principal dancer at the Finnish National Opera and Ballet. In 2009, laureate of Grand Prix in Golden Pointe shoes competition and also a jury member of the mentioned competition. And there are several people who have this ability to motivate us to follow them or make us want to create a change. And Michal is the best example that thanks to your attitude, you can achieve your dreams. So we are going to add him to our conversation. Just waiting for the invitation. Yeah, I wanted to add that he's also incredibly inspiring. When he's dancing, he's taking the viewers to another dimension. And I think he gives a spark to others to take action. Okay, so we are waiting for our guest. And dear viewers, please be a part of our talk and feel free to leave questions right down below. And you can be sure that we are going to read all of them. He's already here. Michal just joined us. Oh. He can't join us. Just a second.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Hi, hello, I'm Zofia. It's nice to meet you and nice to have you here. How are you?
Good, glad to be here, Zofia. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. It is a big honor to talk with you. I couldn't wait any longer for this talk. We had some troubles with connecting, but it's actually fine now. In these times, it's nice to talk with other dancers, getting know each other and just ask what they are doing in their free time. You also had to stay home for months during the first coronavirus wave?
Absolutely, yes. Last year,
Yeah.
we've been...
How long?
I would say, yeah, 8 weeks, I think.
Okay, so that's a long period of time.
Yes.
So you have been exercising at home. I saw on your Instagram that you make a lot of exercises.
Especially with my little daughter, yes.
Okay. And do you have some maybe favorite complementary techniques thanks to which you could keep your ballet technique?
Yes, it's the core technique. The exercises for core are very, very important for ballet technique. So yes, and I always been very, very down for the other ways of training, the other ways of keeping, you know, especially your mental health.
Yeah.
You know, like playing soccer, a lot of sports. Outside sports, volleyball, and this kind of stuff, for example.
Oh, that's great.
It's really good.
Yeah, this is great because there is always our teachers at school were saying that we couldn't do any other techniques, any other sports. But in fact, we need them to develop our skills, to take care of our muscles. This is very important.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And especially now it's great time to try to be not afraid of trying new ways and new ways of how to keep in shape, new ways of training, functional training, fitness training. It's a great chance for dancers to explore new ways of doing.
Yes, you're right.
It's a great chance to do this. So I think it's the best time.
Yeah, and during the pandemic, what new activities have you discovered?
Not really new activities. There was a lot of time for PlayStation.
Yeah.
I mean, there was not much to do, you know. Everybody was, we were all in the same boat, all home, and
Yes.
what we could do.
Yeah, everybody just waiting.
I think that for me personally, that break came in a perfect time, and I had a really great time to spend with my little daughter, and I really enjoy it. On the other hand,
Yeah. And maybe you could finally had a time to develop your passions, yes? Like not only connected with dance.
it was time that it opened my eyes even more. What you really want from your life, what you really want from your career. It's hard for everyone, and I think that this is the hardest period for the dancers, that they are finishing school and trying to get job in the companies, and the companies are basically closed. They are not taking, you know, they are in the same situation like all of us. So this is really hard time for new dancers. So I've been trying to there were many people, many young dancers sending me messages if I could help or recommend or give a contact to ballet directors, and I tried my best to give them the best advice, how I knew those individuals, but I felt really sorry for those kids. This is really hard time for art, theaters, ballet companies generally, but those children, that they are basically on the one of the most important step towards their future career to be a ballet artist. It's the hardest time for those.
Yes, and nowadays it's important to talk with young dancers to help them and show how to cope with this reality. And
Yes.
ballet need discipline, but there is a boundary where we meet contradiction, because we can perform for our audience, but we need to keep fit. We need to take care of our bodies. But a lot of young people just thought that maybe ballet isn't important and people don't need this, and this is I think this is a mistake, because everybody needs culture, everybody needs ballet. This is which we develop thanks to the culture, thanks to the also ballet.
Yes.
And I can see that, yes, you're standing on the rehearsal class, yeah.
Theater. I'm in our Finnish National Opera house, and yeah, this is our basically main studio. That it's right now. It's Saturday evening, already 6 o'clock in Finland, and yeah, it's empty. So I took a chance to use the studio as a nice background for the online.
This is the best background ever. Yeah, this is very nice to see even a piece of the studio. So thank you. And yes, I wanted to ask, do you see ballet as a way of expressing yourself?
Of course, of course. Ballet is ballet or art or theater. It's one of the special unique profession that person have chance to become your, how to say, even like a role model, to become someone that you would probably never become in your real life. For instance, like to become prince of a rich kingdom, or to become barber in a Spanish poor village, or become slave during the period of piracy. You know, it's a great world to become someone that you will never be in your life.
Yes, and I know that you played Mr. Edward Hyde in Jekyll and Hyde, and this title is actually very close to my heart, because it was my first show when I started to work in a music theater in Poznań. Can you tell us more about working on this character?
This was very special creation. It was with a great choreographer, Val Caniparoli, American choreographer, that I've been working with him already a couple of years ago on his production of Lady of Camellia. And already that time, I think he made a little bit pick on me for this character. And we start to work on it like a year before the world premiere. We start yes, we start to talk about it, mostly talk about it. And he already gave me ideas. He sent me stuff that he wanted me to explore, to watch, the movies, the book, and everything I've seen, all of these stories, the book and the movies, they're all very much different. So I had really time and chance to pick what I like and how I would profile that character. And we started alone in the studio, just two of us, in the evening rehearsal, I would say a couple of months before premiere. And we started with the Chopin piano solo. That was the end of the ballet. So he started basically creating the ballet from the last moment of the ballet.
Oh, okay.
Because for him it was very important how he will end that story. And it was great process, because we started with the way that there was a big, the libretto of the ballet was absolutely different. It was same but different compared to book, because he put the Robert Stevenson, the writer, in the story, in the performance. So he was on with us on the stage. It was happening inside of his head. The ballet was happening inside of his head. And in the end, he was in asylum, but it was actually Mr. Hyde that was in asylum with him in the end. And he basically died in the moment that Edward Hyde was inside of him, because he died on a brain aneurysm, Robert Stevenson. And he had two personalities in his head. He was sick, Robert Stevenson. And that's what makes him also to do the story of Jekyll and Hyde.
Okay, this is amazing idea. Actually,
the ballet was a huge success, and it has been already promised to be reconstructed in many world companies. But we were first company, and I was very fortunate to be premiere cast for the Mr. Hyde, because Mr. Hyde is the best character from all ballet. Really, it's one that really take over the stage. It actually starts. Mr. Hyde is coming in the second act, really, and from the second act, it's just boom, boom, boom. It's in.
He's stalling the whole show.
It's incredible show. Yes, it was really great work. And I remember we started in this ballet studio, and he just played the Chopin, and then he was telling me, okay, now you're in asylum, and you are getting mad, and your brain aneurysma or Robert Stevenson aneurysma will pop out, and he will die. And we will gradually get into this moment. And then he played, and we had nothing. We really start from scratch, from the white paper. So, and then I said, you know what, play the music. And they provide us with the small bed, like the asylum bed with this rails on the side. And I said, you know what, just play the music and let me see what I can do. So he played the music, and I went on the bed, and the beautiful Chopin music, it's so inspirable in many ways. So I just start to listen. I closed my eyes. I didn't prepare. I was thinking, and then I stopped thinking, and then I started to do what the music was telling me with the story that Val asked me to do. And then he just had his phone, and he was recording me, and I was doing improv for 4 minutes until the end. And then he stopped, and he was like, wow, we're on to something. And then he likes this, and then, okay, let's do it again. we did this rehearsal. It was like 1 or 2 hours rehearsal, and he made videos that was together, I think like 40-50 minutes of me just improvising. And this improvisation became choreography towards the end of the ballet. He basically didn't change anything. It was just from scratch. We did end of the ballet just from mad improvisation.
And that makes this choreography more authentic, and
Absolutely, yes.
yes, because it comes from you, from your
Yes,
soul.
yes, I was very lucky, and I'm very thankful, and it's like my signature in that piece is really like, I wouldn't say forever there, because every choreography evolving with the years, so I cannot wait how this production will look in 10 years, because I really believe that it will come back on our stage, and I really believe that we will be seeing this in many companies. If I'm not mistaken, Kansas Ballet is already taking over that production, and it's going to be wild, I'm sure, because it was great success here in Finland. It was big success.
Yeah, I also really want to see it now. Actually, there was a question in our comments. Will you play Jekyll and Hyde one day? And just you said that maybe someday. So fingers crossed that
Yes,
we
I know,
we can see
I know,
one
but
day.
I can tell. I cannot say now, but I know the answer.
Okay, we will pray for this title, and especially if you will be dancing there. But you're also a choreographer, yes? I saw that you make choreographies such as On the Verge, Blind Dreaming,
Yes.
or Feeling Emptiness, Laughing, of Loving One. What can you say about those choreographies when you're creating? What do you feel? You make some connections with your choreographies, and then you love them so much that even when you're thinking about them, you still feel the emotions.
I started about I would say 8-9 years ago, and there was a project here in Finland that one beautiful lady came here with idea to go to nursing houses, to old people, and perform something small. And because the place and space in those houses were very limited, so I had idea, because I've been always willing to try choreography. It was always my dream to do that, or I've been always feeling to do this. It was always, I loved to do that, and and the to do choreography, it really requires big how to say, confidence, and it's really hard to keep this confidence, because immediately when I start to do it in the first minutes and I get some dancers, I start to feel that what am I doing? I'm nobody to do something like that for someone that is already a professional dancer, But then I was like, okay, but I'm not a quitter, I didn't quit, so I kept going, and this was like 8-9 years ago, and I've been doing like 15 minutes 15 minutes piece, and that was the blind dreaming, and it was about the man that is dreaming, and it was a funny piece because it was for nursing houses, and it was I always need to be inspired by beautiful music. I need to have a music first, and that needs to inspire me. If I create movement without the music, it just doesn't work for me like that. So, and that was it. We created this funny piece. Was about 15 minutes. I think we were about 8 or 9 dancers together, if I'm no, maybe less, something about that. And it was just, to see the expression of these people, to see something like funny. And then I remember I used Schubert music, and I used swing music all together mixed. It was like a dream. And for those people, it was perfect, because they were laughing so much, and that was like a first kick for me to keep going. But unfortunately, also on the other hand, I'm so busy with to be principal dancer in the company that I barely find time to do it. Even now with the quarantine would be perfect time to do such a thing, but we are so limited with the rules and the masks, wearing masks, and and also to go to my colleagues and ask for favor, like, can you please help me with this? I just don't ask, or it's not my type, to go and do this. It needs to come like from a little bit of common sense. It needs to be a little bit like, okay, from dancers, okay, let's do it. We want to do it. We want to work with you. And then it's not easy.
Yeah.
Not easy.
Yeah, of course, it's not easy. But great that you create those choreographies, that you are doing what you love to do. And I think dancers also really appreciate it. And like you said, they were having a good time, and they actually loved it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
For sure.
I also know that maybe sometimes I require something difficult, and for some dancers that it's not easy, and then I also experience the difficulties that some dancers have problem to do those, and I try to help, and then I change it so especially the dancer feel comfortable, and the change didn't work either. So I've been struggling also how to make a person feel good. Everybody is different. Some people are very fragile, so everybody needs different approach. Some dancers are like, you show thing and they do like bam bam and then they have it and you're like, whoa, that's amazing. And some people, they need time, they need to work, and then when you have this patience and to work with them, suddenly the result is amazing. What started from first couple of minutes until after many hours of working, what comes from them, it's just amazing what people can do if they are willing to get better, and if they are willing to work on it, and if they have open mind to do this first step, to commit themselves to get better and to
yeah,
do
but this is also about a big trust from your dancers to you, to feel the connection with the choreographer, to trust the choreographer and understand why they are doing this. So I think that this is a big success.
Yeah, the trust is important. Of course, you have to trust those people, and they have to trust you, and that's why I think it's the best approach is to be natural as you can be. No lies, no lying that we are witnessing in our world so much. It's always better to come straight and face the consequences immediately. That's the best thing, because then nothing can stab you in the back in the future.
Yes, exactly. And do you prefer to teach ballet or make choreographies?
Hard to say. I really love teaching, especially if there are people that they are really willing to work and that they want to get better, and then they even come to me and they ask for help. I love to help them. I love to teach. I love to teach for free. I love to help them. I love to spend time with those people. And it's just, I love to help those kids, especially.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, I have another question from the list. How do you perceive ballet competitions throughout the world?
I mean, nowadays, it's been always, the ballet competitions are great tool to discover future talents, future potential principal dancers, or even ballet stars. They all start with the ballet competitions, when they're kids, and that's the first step. And I remember when I was in the school and I went to my first competition, I think I was like 15 or maybe like just turned 16, and I was going to my first competition. The feeling of to be so uncomfortable to go and compete, even with your friends that and this competition, even the word when I say competition gives me like such a feeling of uncomfortable. in pressure.
Yes, I understand. I have the same feeling always.
You know, it's I'm more on the other side too. I'm more for teamwork than competition work, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
but then when the first competition was over, the experience what I got in just couple of days to be in different city and then be in the between the competition and have even your first big failure, that's the step that's again the willing to go and try and accept even the failure and continue after. That's the difference between student and master, because the master usually failed more times than the student. That the student feels so confident and nothing can stop the student. It's the difference between those two. The mature experienced dancer usually fell on the butt during the show even more times than the student. We're all human, that happened. And to accept those flaws and mistakes, it's what makes us better and human and artist.
Yes, exactly. And maybe you think the same as me, that I believe that there is no such a thing as perfection, but there is a satisfaction which comes from enjoying dancing. And also the attitude is very important.
Attitude is the number one, really. It's to go and make it work, and you know, like, don't stop until you make it work. And if it doesn't work, maybe leave it, but come back to it and finish it. Finish what you started. That's the key. To finish what didn't work yesterday, to try day after tomorrow again, and to give yourself commitment to finish it, to get better, to learn. And even myself, I'm committing myself to learn new steps, to learn new technical things and keep working on those. You know, there is no thing like a age limit of learning these things.
So as you said earlier, you're not a quitter. So I think that thanks to your humble attitude, it helped you achieve so much. So it's important to find balance, and you have like the perfect balance in your inspiration, I think, for lots of young dancers, also even for master dancers.
Absolutely. And as you said, the right balance is very important, because if you want too much, you might not get anything. And if you want too little, you might not get anything either. Yeah. So there needs to be balance. There needs to be right commitment in right time in the ballet studio to do proper work. And then when it's time without the ballet, to have the time really without the ballet, to be with family, to be with friends, to forget about ballet, to be human, to be son, to be daughter, to be, you know, father, uncle, to be someone that makes you human, because this humanity will project in your future stage appearance. If you're just ballet, 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 then you will be perfect ballet figure, posture, just for taking nice pictures. But then when it's 2 hours performance, when you're not allowed to leave the stage, and you have to, then you use all your personal experience, and that's really important. Because, for example, if you have to do, let's say, Romeo and Juliet, and in my experience you do Romeo, and then there is the moment that you realize that your loved ones, it's just lying there and she's dead, she's not breathing. How to project your personal experience, for example, the loss of someone close to you in your real life, can help you to achieve the impression to perform such a dramatic moment without dancing. These human life situations, and you know, like love, loss, death, or birth, those are the moments that gives you such a volume to use in your ballet repertoire, then because then the new production or new choreographer come, and then you just pull it out from your pocket, and then you know you have already planned how you will be doing this, and then you keep working on that, and then you're just getting better, and then another day it goes bad, and then it gets again better. That's just the way how it is.
Yes, exactly. And there's one question which is bothering me. I wanted to ask, when you're teaching or preparing dancers for your choreography, you are more Mr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde?
No, when I'm teaching or choreographing, it's really me. That's the moment that it's really me, because then the teaching and also the choreography projects much better, and the atmosphere is really important. The atmosphere is really important, you know. There is a hard work with it, you know. There can be like tough moments that we're tired, it doesn't go way how I wish, but everything needs patience and time. But I wouldn't say I'm Mr. Jekyll or I'm Mr. Hyde. It's really me in that moment.
So thank you. Okay, good answer, because when you're starting to improvise, and actually this is a piece of you in this role, Mr. Hyde, I thought, actually it was you. So maybe how your life it looks like. You're more Mr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde, but it's good to hear that you're not none of them.
Of course not. Of course not.
Yeah. Sometimes we know teachers who are just like Hyde.
Yeah. But the ballet studio, I really believe that the ballet studio is the time for humanity, compassion, and understanding.
Yes.
And for hard work for sure.
Yes, hard work, the balance. Yeah. And do you have any feelings towards the Golden Pointe Shoes competition? And what makes this competition so special?
When I went, it was 12 years ago when I went to Szczecin first time. I remember that I had to graduate my school. That was the year I was graduating, and I remember I had the final exam, final test, the day I was traveling to Szczecin to do ballet competition. I had the theoretic test to finish my school, and then I remember I finished it and I put the pen down and I jumped on the car that was on the street and I drove all the way up to north to Szczecin, and then I arrived to completely different world. You know, I just finished my school of 8 years of work, and then I go to the ballet competition. You know, so I remember that I was thinking of, oh my God, did I finish my school well, or do I have to repeat the you know, it was this normal subject exam, no ballet exam. So I was thinking of that, and then I remember I met Maria, and I met all the people around the competition, all the other competitors, and the atmosphere was very relaxed. It didn't feel like competition, I have to say. It was not like other competition when you come and then you see the other dancers, you know, they're warming up, they're focusing, you know, like nobody's talking to each other. No, it felt really like, hi, I'm this one, how are you, where are you from? You know, it was very, very open. And I really love this Polish attitude generally, because it's very inspirable it's inspiring for ballet world, how it works there. And yeah, the competition was great, the atmosphere was great, and the last party, the closing party, everybody, friends, everybody dancing with everyone. It was beautiful, really beautiful experience. It was really my best competition experience.
It's nice to hear.
No,
And
it's really, honestly, it was beautiful, really nice experience.
So, have you made any friends with who you're still keeping in touch?
Yes, I made many friends. I met many people. It was first time I met Piotr Nardelli. and he was in jury. And then a couple of years later, I met him here in Finland, and we kept the connection. And he's great teacher. He's great ballet teacher. You know, he has really big knowledge. And when he comes here, last time he was here a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago, I think, I don't remember what we had. I come to him and I ask, Piotr, come and have a look. What do you think? How I'm doing this, you know? And then he helps, you know? And then I'm his student, and then he's coaching me. He helps. Then we leave the studio and we're friends. You know, it's
amazing. Yeah, actually, I know like almost the whole jury members, and some of them were my teachers, or now they are my teachers when I'm studying choreography in Warsaw, so still have connection with them. And this is great to hear that you're also a member of the jury. And yeah, so another question I have for you is, does such an experienced dancer like you ever dream about a certain role, maybe about a cooperation with a specific choreographer?
I've been very fortunate that for last 13 years or almost 14 years of dancing principal roles, that I basically dance all roles that I wanted to dance. I really did the roles that I wanted to dance. I also did the roles that I didn't want to dance.
Okay.
That's part of the job. And
yes.
I did the choreography that I really didn't like, and I did the choreography that I loved. And I've been really lucky to do all these roles that I've dreamed. And what is now even more exciting and more special is that I can come back to these roles, because the repertoire is somehow, with the years, it's coming back and goes and arrives back to you, and then you're approaching the same role like you did 10 years ago again, and you have the white paper in front of you. You can start from scratch, or you use the experience. It's a beautiful world that we have here, that we live and work in. So for me, it's like I can do all over these things again, which is great. So that's my like, my dream is to do those roles as best as I can, that one day when I will be in the moment that I cannot dance anymore, is that I feel very satisfied, that I feel, okay, I did what I love to do the best way I could do, and I don't feel sorry that I missed something. That's the satisfaction.
Yes, and also you worked with so many famous choreographers like Iji Kilian or Jerome Robbins, Caroline Carlson. So I think it's incredible. And can you indicate which cooperation you enjoyed the most?
Oh, I really loved in past. I really love to work with Natalia Makarova. Work with Natalia Makarova was very special. Even that she's always, of course, more focused on female dancers, which is natural. She has much more to give to female dancers, but also to just watch this and how she works with these ladies, it's incredible. It's so much to learn for me. And the other one, 2 years ago, I've been working with Alexei Ratmansky, and that was big surprise for me how Alexei works, and that I enjoyed very much with working with him. I don't know. I mean, there are many names that I could name, and I've been really fortunate and happy to work with them. You know, there is no one that I can say that I really like. I couldn't. Or I quit, you know, that I just couldn't stay with that person in the same room, you know. Even if you have the feeling like that towards someone, you just do your job as much as the best way as you can, because that's our profession.
Yes, I admire your attitude. Like really, not everybody have the same view. Not everybody is feeling the same. Everybody just think not everybody, but there are people that they are dancing, but they are not like, milking everything what choreographers are showing with them,
Yeah,
because
yeah. I always try to
yeah.
really use every moment when those choreographers are here. For example, a couple of years ago, Nacho Duato was here, and we have to do always these auditions, you know, that we have to like. It's basically we are like students in the school, and we are showing ourselves. You know, it's really we do audition. It's like a job interview, you know. And in these, let's say, 90 minutes you have to impress the choreographer that he will cast you in his ballet. And I hate those things. I really hate these things, to do those auditions, you know. And I always there is a studio full of dancers, and I already go there, oh my god, I have to do this. So I go and I stay in the back, because I just, you know, I believe that those professionals, those big persons of art and ballet, they don't need much to understand who is who and how they dance. It's really, sometimes it needs to be just a couple of seconds of watching and they got some idea. But sometimes it can be absolutely counterproductive. That what happened to me and Nacho Duato. I was doing the audition for Nacho Duato, and it seems like that he was like putting me out of cast completely. And I was like, oh, okay, that's okay, it's his choice. Then we started to work on the ballet. Then I've been put in the cast anyhow, that I don't understand how. Okay, probably dancers were needed, so I was there. Okay, so I start to work. Then first his ballet master came, and then I was like, okay, you do this, you do that. Then the second ballet master came, you do this and you do that. And I actually ended up doing almost all the pieces in the ballet. And I was like, so from almost doing nothing, I basically ended up doing all the ballet, you know. And then Nacho came, and then he came to me, and then he was, so who are you? Where are you from? And I was, yeah, I'm from Prague. And then it's like, you work with Jiří, right? And I said, yes. Like, yeah, I can see that. And then we started to talk, and then he suddenly started to like me, you know, because it's really strange. These auditions are really, it's necessary. It's necessity, really. It's necessary to do those. But yeah, it can turn out counterproductive, and in the end, the result is how it is.
Wow, we were so lucky then. Okay, so congratulations that you in final take a big part and you
Yeah,
have
in
been
the
in
end,
the
because it's
whole
like,
show.
it's you know, I could be, you know, you could get offended or upset, or you'll be like, okay, I whatever, I don't do it anymore. Oh no, I came and I showed up. It's my job. It's my job. It's my contract, and I work like that, you know. And then I always believe, if you don't quit, it will just come back to you. What you will give, it will get back to you. And it might not come back to you now, but in the future it will come back, because there is really, the patient is really the key.
Yes, it is. And you think that emotions, technique, or passion, or maybe everything is the most important on the stage?
The personality. I think
Yeah.
we are we are in the times that we are losing those the personalities on the stage, that we are turning into way of moving absolutely counterproductively against the music. We are turning this upside down, that they were not meant to be like that. And suddenly we are turning even the future potential great artists into puppets. And it's really
Yes,
sad.
indeed.
It's really sad. We need to not we are forming the future generations like models, like figures, instead of pouring water under them to let them grow like a plant. That's what
exactly.
we need to do, and that's how personalities will be reborn again, because we really miss those, like someone that comes on the stage and just walk on the stage and to be something is gonna happen, because there's some aura is coming out from that person that you just can't stop watching that dancer. You know, you are not afraid that the dancer will fall. You feel something that person was born to be on the stage. That's what I mean, that we missed these personalities.
Yes, exactly. So this is what describes the perfect dancer, his personality. Yes.
Yeah, I think, yeah, perfect dancer, it's the point of view. Perfect dancer,
Yes,
someone
of course.
who is super long, beautiful body proportions, incredible, beautiful girl or man, that is just, that when stands on the stage is just wow. That's like you know, that's perfection itself. But then the person starts to move, and then you're like, that maybe it's not the best. So it's the point of view. Some people, they search for this, they like this, and perfection for them is these kind of dancers or people or artists. And then some people, they love perfection in musicality. So, you know, for example, for me, musicality is very important. Even more, well, it's music. Music is, dance can't be without music. Music can exist without dance, but dance cannot exist without music. That's why dance was invented, because somebody just felt the rhythm and the feeling of express themselves, because they felt, they heard music going, and it became in their veins, and then suddenly that's what it is. Dance is connected with the music. So the perfection of it's really point of view. But
Yes, it is.
there is the line to be close to the perfection and satisfied most of the audience.
Yeah, and then dancing is becoming kind of a therapy, therapy for soul, for your mood, even. So, do you believe that dancing is a therapy?
Yes, and I was a bit skeptic about it, but actually this pandemic again opened my eyes, because I never felt so how to say, needed. You know, we are
Need,
not,
yes.
we are not doctors, we are not life saviors, we are not that important like those people, but we are basically saviors of souls. There's so many people were asking me when we can perform, or can we see some streaming performance, some video. So many people were asking me from around the world, will there be some show streaming in the Finnish National Ballet? And I said, unfortunately, we can't do those things. But it's because this is getting longer, the pandemic is getting longer and longer, and this need from those people is getting bigger and higher, that one day I believe that when the world will come into new normal, it will never be same like before, but into new normal, I really believe that many people on both sides, artists and audience, will realize how much this is needed. For it's a money in the bank. Sorry to say.
Yes, unfortunately. But so we can agree that during the global pandemic, which actually affects the cultural institutions very much, you think will it jump them, or maybe it will encourage them to adapt? How will theaters move on after the pandemic situation?
We will be, every theater will be very every theater will have different situation, and it will be every theater in different countries will have different situation, and it will be really depending on the government's decisions and on the pandemic situation anyway. In Finland, if I can say how it might be here, it's just we are waiting on the day that we can start to work without masks. If we can start to work without masks, then it will be already going back to normal, slowly, step by step. And I really believe that it will be coming soon because, for example, in Finland, the numbers are going down, and hopefully no more any like fourth or fifth wave will come. Hopefully not. So hard to say. I can't say. I really, and I'm not so brave enough to guess anything, or, you know, I just hope for the best, and hopefully I don't need to be prepared for the worst.
Yeah, exactly. But we look forward that it's going to end soon. It will not dim the theaters, and we all will already be back on the stage.
I can't wait to perform, really.
Yes, and we also can't wait to see you on the stage, and hope that it will be very soon.
Yes, I'm really working that that I don't want to spoil anything, but I hope that I will be able to perform for a competition gala.
Yeah, actually, you share with so many values which are very important for young dancers, and I really appreciate it. And I think all of our viewers are also listening and taking your advices to their hearts. Thank you so much for having you today, that you wanted to share with us with so many things, with so many great advices, and we can't wait to see you on the stage.
Thank you. I'm really glad to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. So have a nice day.
Same to you, and to all people that have been watching. Thank you so much, and hopefully see you soon on the stage.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.